Hello everyone, my name is Steve Samuel from Design Visionaries, and today I'd like to show you this nice little assembly that is an epicyclic gear train. And the cool thing about this model is that it has a expression, A, that really represents the revolutions per minute. So I've got A, and I can say play, and you can see this is going to be 1 revolution per minute. Or if I put 10 here, just like that, play, then it's much faster. So this assembly is really cool because it validates the actual design of an epicyclic gear train. And the cool thing about this thing is it's driven by this layout sketch. So if you take a look at this sketch, everything you need to know about the epicyclic gear train is in here. So for example, this little dashed circle, it's 16 inches in diameter. It represents the ring gear. This circle right here is 4 inches, and it represents the planetary gear. And this dimension right here, this dashed line, represents the sun gear. And these are the pitch diameters. So then with the pitch diameters, there's another circle right here, 0.5 circle, that establishes the height of each gear tooth. So you've got the minor diameter and the major diameter. And right here, there's these little points that represent the where the teeth are created. So these little line segments create the teeth, and these little line segments are established by taking the number of teeth and dividing 360 by the number of teeth, and then you have that. So if you take this pitch circle right here, that is 16, and if you say there's going to be 60 teeth on this, you divide 360 by the 60 teeth, and you get 6 degrees, and then you half that because you have to have a portion that is the gear tooth and a portion for the next gear tooth to fit inside of. So that's why everything's halved. And so then you get the tooth profile. Cool. So you do the same thing for the planetary gear. And here you're going to have 15 teeth. And so if you divide 360 by 30, you get 24. You half that, you get 12. And then these dashed lines are that 12-degree angle mapped out onto the pitch diameter right here. You make 2 little intersection points, and then these lines go through those points, and that's the teeth. That's the tooth profile on the planetary gear. And then we do the same thing on the sun gear right here. So there's the 2 little intersection points, and there's the angle there. So everything becomes very easy to lay out because you can do all the calculations on this one layout. And then the way that layout is used, it's really pretty cool. I'll show you how to do, let's say, for example, the sun gear. So what I do with this layout is I go to assemblies, and then I go to the interpart links, and I do a product interface. I select the whole sketch, and I make a layout interface. So then when I make a brand new part, I'll make a new sun gear, new sun. And I simply go to Home, More, Wave Interface Linker. I grab the layout. I grab the sketch from the layout, put that in there. Cool. And then I Control B and filter for curves. And I but I hide all the curves that I don't need. Maybe that's a little bit laborious, but it's okay. There we go. No pain, no gain. Get rid of all that and that and that. Right? And then that leaves, that's curious that it's not getting me. Anyway, that leaves everything that I need to use to make the actual sun gear. I simply go to extrude, and I'm using region boundary curves. So I, let's do that region and that region. Region boundary curves, I'm going to go from 0 to 0.75 because I've got 3/4 inch material. I hit apply there, and then region boundary curves. There's my tooth profile. He's going 0.75 as well. There's the whole tooth profile. Very nice. I'm going to unite that. Unite, say OK. Pattern feature, grab that extrude. We're doing a circular array about that axis, located at that point right there. The ring gear has 30 teeth, just like that. Say OK. I'm sorry, the sun gear. That's the sun gear. The sun gear, and then, you know, there's lightning holes, etc., etc. So going back to this now, the way we establish the actual animation into the animation designer, we have the rigid groups. We've got one for the planetary gear, one for the planet arm or the carrier, another one for that planet. We've got the ring gear and the sun. We have a fix on the entire ring gear. We have a revolute on the carrier assembly. We have a revolute for planet 1, planet 2, planet 3, and then a revolute for the sun gear. And then we drive them with these motors. So this is the carrier drive motor. And as you can see, if I edit it, that is simply driven by minus A. A is the number of revs. I say minus to make it go clockwise. So you can see it's going clockwise. That's the input, by the way. And then there's a relationship between that A and the planetary drive. So if I go in here, you can see that there's a formula that's a function of A. So it's negative A times 60 over 15. 60 over 15, so there's 60 teeth out here and 15 teeth on this gear. And so it's very simple. It's a revolute associated with, or I should say relative to the carrier and the gear. That's why there's no -1 in there. And so that drives that just quite nicely. And then finally, I've got 3 of those, and then I've got a formula for the sun gear. If you look at the sun gear, then the formula is that rev for any of the planets times 3/4. And so it all works out very well. You can see, you can verify that it's actually working because you could literally see the gears. If I slow it down, I'll go to the expressions editor and slow it down to, let's say, 2 revs per minute. Play. Wait a second, it didn't take that. Hold on. Let's hit enter and then play. There we go. And so now you can, zoom in, and you could actually see right there that the gears are indeed doing what they're supposed to. So it's a validation of all those little equations. That is really, really cool. So now what I think I'll do next is do another epicyclic gear chain where there's more teeth in the planetary gears and less teeth in the sun gear, and then it'll like jam. It'll go much faster. Right now there's like a 4-to-1 ratio, and when I add more teeth to the planets and less teeth to the sun, I can go up to 8-to-1 ratio. That's the really cool thing about epicyclic gear chains in general. They're quiet, and it's really easy to get massive gear reductions and whatever the opposite is. Anyway, my name is Steve Samuel from Design Visionaries. I love doing these things. I love sharing this stuff with you. Please help out by liking, subscribing, ringing the bell, and I'll see you on the next post. Thanks again. Incidentally, you can get these parts. I'll send you this whole assembly if you go to info@designviz.com and make a request. Thank you very much. Take care.